Hello friends, let's take a look at Link. Remember, Link versus Bitcoin, Link versus dollar. I'm Rocky Outcrop, this is the Rocky Outcrop channel. I am not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice. Let's look at Link versus the dollars. Let's just take off all the drawings and just remind ourselves, currently we've not actually managed to get in there and sustain these prices. You can see the daily prices have been up as high as 44,600, enough to be coming in here and putting in a higher high on the daily. Not managed that yet. We don't need to, worry too much about things until this becomes a local high. It would only become a local high if we're coming in and set another low in thereafter. So, we're on the road. We're on the road. The volume still continues to diminish. But of course, just to point this out, the volume 90% of the time, that's an arbitrary made up number. Maybe it's more like 75% of the time, it diminishes, even during trend in action overall. Really, anyhow. So, but we do want to see this kind of pick up again, and avoid the lows on the volume and come up here and just continue to go towards the upside. We've made it past this node just here. We're above the 20 and the 55 EMAs. Go over to the weekly time frame. We're still, riding this 21 EMA up here as we have done for years now. A couple of years has been very, very good. So this is continuing for us. That's all very good. Of course, broader term aspect, you're looking for 51,000, or else maybe you're getting your first lower low, and this is the first equal high in a long uptrend. Long uptrend. Recently I heard somebody say, one of the other people who's a very popular YouTube person, say price action only trends 20% of the time on in markets like this, and that's a grotesque oversimplification of, it's reductionist to talk like that. As you can see quite clearly here, going back to, say, August 2018, this has been an uptrend. It's been trending to the upside. It really is a matter of perspective. So that's very good to see anyway, all of that. And look, we're closing the month off here. How's the monthly doing? Well, it's not a higher high in the monthly, but we're doing this in between thing. We'll have to wait and see how things go over the next month. And of course, if you wanted to put in a low on the monthly, the two sort of previous ones are 35,000 and 28,000, and that would constitute retesting the 21 EMA on the monthly, which is we're above, but we're not. That's absolutely getting ahead of ourselves. Really, just overall, let's see, can we get up to 46,000 or 45,000? Sorry, here, and start to break the continue this. This is a high, a higher high, and another high, a low, a higher low, a higher low. Just here. So can that be the case? Looking at the oscillators, they're not divergent just yet, although there is the chance, fairly strong chance of having bearish divergence. Now, it's premature to ever say this in advance, but if this doesn't rise up alongside the price action over the next couple of days, then you'd have that across the board, the divergence. Now, on the DMI indicator, we've got a cross towards the upside that happened on the 28th of May. That's good to see. There's the potential, like I said, for the divergence here just between these two highs. But I'd like to see this continue up, because overall, if you're looking at this thing, really what you're seeing is what you're seeing is, in terms of the DM positive, is this rising, this rising wedge. So I want to see this come up, go towards its top end of this thing, continue to go up, avoid having bearish divergence, and not and if it does need to have a pullback, a correction off the back of the rising wedge, for that to happen at such times as we could have another higher low come in, maybe even discount this low as being the previous low, and just say anything above 40,000 is fine. But I want to see that happen. I'd like to see the prices hit the 618 golden retrace and at least maintain themselves above the 50 and not go down below 42,000. Down below 42,000 feels quite bearish. It would still be a higher low, but it's quite bearish overall, and I'd be looking then thereafterwards towards 40,000. Going over to the dollar prices, we made it up to our 420 blaze it target. In fact, we made it as high as 430, where we've been talking about for the longest time. So congratulations to everybody who's a subscriber here and knows all about what we've been looking at. We have the battle of the wedges, still on the go, this sort of ascending broadening style, this descending broadening style. This could be a continuation for the upside. This could be a continuation for the downside. We're actually, if you had to pick and choose a trend, and you kind of, if you had to, you kind of you could say up, so if there's going to be a leaning in one way or the other, we could lean slightly slightly bullishly on that. We've managed to close, which is in terms of actually, that's just kind of a bit, that's like speculative. That's like the strategy, but in terms of the tactics, what we're talking about here was, can we avoid any head and shoulders just in the meantime? And we did that with the successful close at the 417 yesterday, hitting today the 420 blaze at 430 target, and having actually had quite a bit of volatility overall today. We've got a doji candle. It's a mistake, but is it a mistake to say that we're above, we're doing what we need to do? No, it's not. Is it a mistake to say that we're not bearishly divergent during this period here? Just borrow this line here for now, and show that we're going towards the upside. As we're going towards the upside here, that's very good. In terms of the lows here, there's not any hidden bullish divergence, but there was this little peak, this low here, as the prices were going on, which could have maybe been that hidden bullish divergence just at the very start of that trend. In terms of the trend, in fact, looking at the DMI, is it going to let me look at the DMI big? Yeah, it's below, it's come down all the way to 11, so we have the potential for a big move here. When things get down as low as 10, then you can get big moves. Let's just draw a quick comparison. 25th of April. Now, I don't know this in advance. I'm just assuming it based off the back of this, where the low is 25th of April or so. So there's a wick up here in terms of volatility, a wick up here, and it went down there. So 10%, there's 10%. Now, that's a little bit unfair. There's 10% moves just almost constantly on this thing, but could you get some 10% move here? And of course that would be 42 cents. So if this were to drop down the way, you could. Where do we want to see it remain above? 382. So if the prices can go up here to 430 and then they were to drop 40 cents or so, then they would be obliging us by staying up above the previous low and hopefully avoiding any breakouts overall on that sense. Just generally speaking, things get quite negative at 370, things get quite positive at 330. There's a couple of 786 Fibonacci retracement areas in here. This pocket here between these two was always going to be a profit-taking zone. As we've seen, profits have been being taken by people, but that's all good just for now. Let's see if the trend continues or not. We might need to come back down here to $4 just to test things as the 21 EMA runs along this line just here. Get rid of all this crap. It'll be around about $4, in this next day or so. It's 390 at the minute. Do we need to come down to $4, 390 to put in a higher low? Potentially. I'd rather see it happen at $4 so it's higher than this one. That's going to do us for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. My name's been Rocky Outcrop. It's going to be Rocky Outcrop tomorrow as well, as it happens. This has been a Chainlink technical analysis video. Again, there'll be another Chainlink technical analysis video tomorrow as it happens. So why don't you subscribe and get involved in the growth of this channel, because I would genuinely appreciate it. And there's 700 other odd like-minded people out there. I just said odd, by the way. 700 odd is just a Scottish or maybe British way of saying roughly, as opposed to 700 odd people. But we're all odd, aren't we? The only normal thing about human beings is that every single one of them is odd and unique. Right, great. Well, on that bombshell, so to speak, I'll leave off the episode. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you do hit that subscribe button. Catch you next time. I'm going to make Tezos. I've done I'm going to do, I do 4 videos per day, so check those ones out if you like this one. Catch you next time. Mucho appreciated.